Hi, welcome to the Wardenberg family farm. It's a very cold and windy night on the farm, so perfect time to make some homemade granola. So why am I making my own granola? Well, a couple reasons. Number one, I haven't found anything I like better. I'm hooked on this stuff. Somebody at the store are so sweet. They're like sickening sweet. And that's just, it's too much for me. So, and I know what's in this. It's all really good ingredients and I just feel good about eating it and I enjoy it. So one time I like it for breakfast, but I also like it. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and can't sleep and I'll come down and get a little bowl of granola and I seem to go to sleep after that. So I've been out for a while, so I've been wanting to make it. So I'm anxious to have some in the house again.
Some stuff in the store is like candy almost, isn't it? Chocolate and
yeah, some of it's
sweet.
horrible. Yeah, it's just way too sweet for me anyway. You'd probably like it.
Yeah,
Donnie likes things sweet. He'll probably put honey on this after I'm done.
Absolutely.
But that's okay. You can always add sweeteners. You can't take them away.
Yeah.
So, all right. The very first ingredient to almost every granola is oats. And I'm making a double batch of this. The recipe calls for 3 cups. So 3 and 3 is 6. 6 cups of oatmeal. And if you watch me do any other recipes, I'm not real careful about measuring. There, roughly. That's the oats. Next comes coconut. Now, if you want it sweeter, you can use sweetened coconut. I use unsweetened. And I just like the little bit of texture it gives to it. I like coconut. I'm a coconut person, so it works well. And the recipe calls for 1.5, so I'm not going to quite use 3. I'll probably use like 2.5. And I will put the recipe down below in the description so you have a recipe. And it's pretty forgiving if you want to change it a little bit. It's very forgiving. Oh, I love the smell of coconut. Ooh. Ah, it smells good. Oh. Yeah, 2.5 roughly. Okay, next is wheat germ. Donnie had trouble finding that in the store the other day. So it calls for 1/2 cup. I'm doing double, so 1 cup of wheat germ. That has to be good for you, right? Wheat germ?
Sounds good.
Next is sunflower seeds. Now it calls for 1 cup, which would be 2 cups. This is what I have right now.
Boom.
That's what's going in. That's kind of how I cook. If I want to get rid of some stuff, I just put it in. Next on the list is pumpkin seeds. I love pumpkin seeds. I like them on salads. They're really good on salads. Should be about 2 cups. That's probably 2 cups. Close to it. Now next is flax seed. Calls for 1/4 cup. So that's going to be about 1/2 cup. And flax seeds are very good for you. All this stuff is good for you. So there's roughly 1/2 cup. So I'm going to mix all that stuff together.
So this is really a seed-based.
It's a seed base, yes, the oats and seeds. And then I put in a little bit of nuts and fruit at the end. But this is the base of it. It's all very nutritious, very good for you stuff, but it tastes really good. Well, I'm putting honey on it, but not a lot. But it's just something about the combination, just, oh, I love it. Well, now all the dry ingredients are mixed together. Now comes some of the wet ingredients, and I'm going to mix honey and oil. And I use our homegrown, good wild honey, raw honey, and I use olive oil. And it calls for 1/2 cup of honey, so for me that'd be 1 cup. Now, I saw this. Somebody said this makes it easy to get the honey out of the cup. You spray it with a little bit of olive oil, pour the honey, and it's supposed to come right out. Let's see if it works. It makes sense, so it should work. Wow, that worked out to just 1 cup. Now, let's see if it worked. Hey, it does. Look, it like just pours right out. There's a little bit left in here, but most of it come right out. It just slid right out because of the oil on the thing. Wow. Hey, it works. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Now, since it's double batch, 1 cup of honey and then 1/2 cup of olive oil. And I'm using the extra light, like for baking. I don't want a real heavy olive oil taste. And you could probably use any kind of oil, whatever your favorite oil is. I'm just an olive oil person. And you mix that together really good. And I actually did, I put the honey in warm water so it would be a little bit softer to work with. If it's really thick, this is a bear of a job. So you can tell it's starting to become incorporated, the honey and the olive oil together. Now comes some messy stuff. Now that came right out of there because the olive oil was already mixed in, so that comes out pretty easily. Now it's time to start incorporating the honey all through the wet stuff. And that just takes a lot of stirring until you get it kind of like all through there. And there's a little bit of olive oil worked all through.
And that's enough of a binder?
Well, and I actually got to put water on it. It isn't a real thick, chunky granola. It's a very loose, kind of a drier granola, which I like. But see, you can see it's starting to stick together, like there's clumps. I just keep smelling that coconut. I get into smells. This gets it to bind together, and then you actually put a little bit of water, drizzle water over it, it makes it a little bit wetter. Then comes the time-consuming part. I spread it out on cookie trays, and you bake it long and slow.
When do you put the fruit in?
I'll put the nuts in after it's gone for 2 hours, and I'll do it for like a half hour longer, and I'll tell you more about that. But the fruit I put in after it's all done. Then you put it in and let it all kind of cool off together. You don't want to bake the fruit, and you don't want to bake the nuts too much. It just gets it nice and dry and like flaky and crumbly, so you can like have it as a cereal. And that's how I like it mostly. I don't eat it like as a snack thing. I like it as a cereal with milk on it. Now it's also good on yogurt though too. I do like it in yogurt. It's looking pretty good.
Are we going to be able to try this tonight?
Either tonight or for breakfast, whichever one not. Tonight
Or
or tomorrow
both.
morning. Both. Why not? And I'll show you the two variations I like the most. You could probably go all kinds of different ways with this, but I usually make 2 different kinds at one time. That way we have a choice. Okay, I have the olive oil and the honey in there. Now it's time to put some water in. You actually sprinkle water over it and you get it a little bit wetter. I think it helps it dry out to the right consistency or something. Not sure the reason, but it works. 1 cup of water, and then you kind of stir that around until it's kind of even. Yeah, it looks good enough to eat now, but it's much better after it's baked. It looks about right. Okay, now it's time to put it on the trays. Hopefully without making a big mess. Think I can do it without spilling it?
Oh, yeah. How long's it been since you spilled something?
Well, actually, just dinner time. About, what, hour and a half ago? We had stuffed pepper soup.
Yeah.
And I went to get it out of the microwave, caught it, all down over the stove. I'm known for being not quite always graceful. I tend to have a little bit of clumsiness.
You're
to me.
very fast.
Yeah, I guess. I'm too fast. And I end up making a mess. Actually, quite often.
I like your messes.
I break a lot of glasses, too. No surprise there.
That's why we have cheap glasses.
Yeah. Every little bit of goodness there. I might get a spatula and scrape that out so I don't miss any. I just want to spread it out fairly evenly. Doesn't that look good?
Yeah.
I mean, for somebody that's into like oats and nuts and stuff, that's a dream.
I can't wait to put it on yogurt with a whole bunch of honey on top.
Yeah, that's how he'll eat it. But it is good. I mean, You put some nice raw honey on there, that does make everything better.
Yeah.
Honey goes, oh, so well with so many things. We have bees and we are really enjoying having our own honey. All right, now it's time to put it in the oven. All right, so in the oven they go. Now, one thing I have to do since I have 2 trays, they don't fit in the oven vertically. So they have to go on 2 different trays, 2 different racks. So I have to make sure the racks are kind of spaced apart and evenly. And actually, I'll stir this every half hour and I'll switch the trays every time I stir it, just to make sure it's done evenly. All right. And set the timer for the first 30 minutes. And it's dishes time. Well, it's been going for a little over an hour, and I've been stirring it every 20 minutes instead of every 30. And it's just starting to get a little bit drier, you can tell. As you stir it, you can tell it starts out real heavy and kind of thick and goopy, and it gets drier as you go. Yeah, it's getting that nice dry feeling. Oh, and if you notice, when I put it in the oven, I had parchment paper on the trays. I thought that was going to be a good idea. It wasn't. So the parchment paper is gone. It's too hard to stir with parchment paper, so don't use parchment paper. You just want to move it around a little bit, just make sure it kind of dries evenly without knocking it on the floor.
Smells good, I'll give you that.
Oh, it smells amazing. Yeah, we might have to have some of this tonight. I don't know if I can wait till morning. Okay, I'm gonna stick it back in for another 20 minutes. I'll bring you back when it's all dry and ready to put the nuts in. All right, so we're getting near the end, and it's time to stir the nuts in for the last half hour. Now I'm doing 1 tray with pecans and 1 tray with almonds. Now, this is the 2 combinations I like. I like pecans with raisins. I like the almonds with cranberries. Now, I get in a rut and do the same thing every time, but I like these combinations. But if you guys have a suggestion for something else I should try, let me know, because I always like trying something new. I love granola so much, I figure I might as well add as much variety as I can. Now, this chopper, I'm not sponsored by Pampered Chef or anything. This is the best chopper I've ever had. I mean, I've tried buying other ones. It's just something about this. It's perfect. I love pecans. I love almonds too. I just love food. So I'll get these all chopped up, and the next time I stir them, I'll be stirring some nuts in with them. All right, time to stir in the nuts. So we're a half hour from being done. And I'm excited. See how it's nice and golden brown?
Did you just put them in half of it?
I'm putting pecans in half, and I'm putting almonds in this tray. So I have 1 whole tray with almonds and 1 whole tray with pecans. And I actually mixed raisins in with the pecans, and I mixed the cranberries in with the almonds. Whoops. Got a little vigorous there. And I'm using my handy dandy pot holders. These are the best pot holders I've ever used in my life. A friend of mine made them for me. They're 100% cotton and they're crocheted. They are just my favorite pot holder of all time. I'm hooked on them. So that's the pecan tray. Now the almond. And there's no real quantity what you put in. It looks good. It's kind of whatever you want. But these get stirred in and then they get baked for just 1/2 hour. That's it, 30 minutes. And then it'll be time to put the fruit in and let it all cool off and have a sample. And I'll stir this after 15 minutes. They'll be in for 15 minutes. I'll stir it, and then 15 more minutes, and it will be done. Yum, yum, yum. Ah, I wish you could smell this. It really smells good. It really smells good. Okay, they're all done baking. Now it's just time to stir the fruit in and let it cool. So the pecan tray gets the raisins. Now I have extra if I don't think that's enough. And this is all personal taste, whatever you think you want. But again, let me know if you have other combinations. Could be up for a change. Yeah, I want to leave more raisins. Now, does that look good to everybody? It does to me. I'm looking forward to breakfast tomorrow.
When do you package them up?
I'm gonna actually let them sit out and cool overnight and get good and cool and dry out more in the open air. All right, so that's the raisins. Now the cranberries with the almonds.
So it's like 10:30 at night, so it'll be okay till morning?
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be completely cooled off by morning. We'll have some for breakfast and I'll pack the rest up. It takes a couple hours for us to really cool down. And there's nothing in there to spoil, you know?
Have you worked up the cost on these?
No, I haven't. But it's gotta be cheaper than buying the expensive stuff in the store that isn't really that good. You know?
Yeah.
It's worth it. You know? In my opinion.
Smells great. Can't wait to try it.
I might have to have a little bit before I go to bed. But I don't know which flavor. Tough decisions. So in the morning, we'll do a real taste test.
Are you cheating?
Busted. I couldn't wait till morning. So I'm trying a little bit of the cranberry one. It's delicious. You want to try it tonight?
Sure.
Which one?
I'll try the other one.
I love it. That's so good for you.
Well, good morning, everybody. Morning at the farmhouse. I got my morning eyes on today. So it's time for breakfast.
And we're gonna try our granola. Drum roll. Now I didn't let it sit out all night and cool. I thought about it later and that is awfully long because I figured I'd probably sleep in this morning. So it was like 25 degrees out last night, so I just sat it out on the front porch on a table, let it cool for about 20 minutes and put it away. So it's been dried, cooled, everything. We're ready to go. Now which one do you have here?
I have the cranberry. Looks terrific.
I have the raisin and pecan.
I like your milk dispenser.
We aren't usually this fancy. All right, here goes nothing.
All right.
I'm betting he's gonna want to add honey.
Yeah, I'm betting it's going to be good.
Yeah. I've missed having this. This to me is better than any cereal you can buy in the store. Something about the combination it works.
I like it with just a little bit of fruit for just a hint of sweetness. And it's interesting because it goes through different flavors. It's not like the same flavor the whole way through.
Kind of like sushi. You get hit with different flavors in a row.
Yeah, like fireworks, layers, you know. And with the fruit in there, the sweetness, I think lasts more to the end. But I'm going to try it with just a little bit of honey. But I'm worried if I put too much honey on it that it will overpower everything else.
So don't put too much on.
All right.
And for me, that little bit of fruit, the raisins and the cranberries, add just the right amount of sweetness. I love it. Aren't you glad I made that?
Yeah. I guess I'm just used to sweeter things around here.
That's it. A little corny, isn't he? So, well, thanks for joining us as I made my homemade granola. And if you go to make it, I wish you luck and hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
And
again,
we'd love to see what
Yeah.
other types of mixes that you have out there.
Let me know what else you've put together you really like. Because I love granola and I'd probably like all kinds of combinations. So I'd like to hear from you. So we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.